Sometimes the most powerful moments in sports have nothing to do with a stat sheet. Terry McLaurin sat down for a genuinely candid conversation this week, reflecting on a season he has openly called the toughest of his entire career and how he found his way back to a place of real joy heading into year 8. Faithful, this one is worth sitting with. Last year was a genuinely difficult stretch for McLaurin, both on and off the field, culminating in a contract standoff that kept him away from this team during a critical stretch of the offseason. When asked how far he has come since then, McLaurin did not hesitate to credit his faith directly. He described leaning on his relationship with God to get through that period, acknowledging that even this year has brought its own share of real challenges away from football. But through all of it, he says he has continued carrying genuine joy and peace in his heart, something he attributes directly to the work he believes has been done inside him during that difficult stretch. According to McLaurin, everything he has gone through has ultimately built his character, his wisdom, and his overall experience, making him a better husband, teammate, and player in the process. He said he has come to genuinely believe that everything happens for a reason, and that every time he has walked through something difficult, he has come out the other side better than when he went in. That renewed sense of peace was on full display the moment McLaurin walked back into Northwest Stadium for this year's first preseason game. He called the platform the NFL provides, combined with a genuine support and appreciation from this fan base, one of the best parts of playing this sport. He made a point of saying he never takes that support for granted, especially now that he is in year 8 of his career, well aware of exactly how quickly this window can close. Every time he hears the crowd chanting his name, he tries to soak in that moment fully, interacting with as many fans as he reasonably can while still staying locked in for the job ahead. When asked what he has genuinely learned about himself through these last couple of difficult years, McLaurin offered a genuinely thoughtful answer. He said it is easy to get so tunnel-visioned inside a difficult moment that you lose the bigger picture entirely, and he has come to believe that a tough moment does not have to define an entire tough life. He described a personal practice of driving with worship music on and simply listing out everything he is grateful for, and more often than not, he finds there is far more on that list than there are actual trials weighing him down. Even the difficult things he continues working through, he says, are ultimately building him into who he is meant to become. He credited therapy specifically with helping him become more open, more vulnerable, and more willing to actually ask for help when he needs it. Tools he now actively tries to pass along to the younger players in this locker room, navigating their own difficult journeys trying to make it in this league. From there, the conversation shifted to the receiver room itself, and McLaurin lit up talking about the group around him. He credited new offensive coordinator David Blowe's system with putting this receiver room in position to genuinely thrive, moving players around and creating a wide variety of different offensive looks. He made clear he is just as excited watching his teammates succeed as he is making his own plays, framing it as a shared mission where everybody in that room is ultimately trying to build a life for themselves and their families. With a quarterback room featuring Jaden Daniels, Marcus Mariota, Sam Hartman, and Ethan Kaliakmanis all pushing the football around, McLaurin believes there will be plenty of opportunity to go around for everybody in that receiver room this season, as long as each player stays ready when his specific number gets called. He also spoke warmly about the addition of Stephon Diggs, a player who reached the Super Bowl just last season and brings real elite-level experience into that room. McLaurin described their dynamic almost like two players constantly pushing each other to be sharper, comparing it to a well-known meme of two identical figures pointing at one another. Both players share a similar competitive fire, real vocal leadership, and an infectious energy that extends beyond just their own individual production to the entire offense around them. According to McLaurin, having a player of Diggs' caliber and experience in that room has helped him personally sharpen small, often overlooked details of his own game. Specifically things like consistently finishing off a route all the way through rather than simply relaxing once initial separation has already been won. He credited new receivers coach Bobby Engram with creating an environment where this entire room has taken real ownership over its own identity and preparation. Naturally, the conversation turned to quarterback Jayden Daniels, and McLaurin did not hold back on his admiration. He praised Daniels' relentless work ethic, noting that even on scheduled off days, Daniels is still out there wanting to throw and catch spot routes. McLaurin specifically highlighted Daniels' poise as something he has genuinely never seen from a young player at that position before, crediting his ability to stay fully present in the moment, put in real preparation work, and then execute with real calm once the lights actually come on. He also noted the real edge Daniels has continued playing with, particularly after a season that did not go the way anybody around this team had hoped, suggesting that experience has only sharpened his focus and determination heading into this year. McLaurin closed that thought with a simple, direct compliment about Daniels' accuracy, saying it often feels like the football is being delivered directly into his hands, making life considerably easier for every receiver on the other end of his throws. Looking ahead to Washington's next preseason matchup on the road against the Detroit Lions, McLaurin previewed exactly what this fan base should expect. He referenced comments from head coach Dan Quinn about this team not playing with quite enough energy in the preseason opener, chalking some of that up to natural, nervous energy that comes with stepping back onto a competitive field for the first time in a while. According to McLaurin, the message heading into this next game is simple. Play fast, play aggressive, and do not be afraid to make a mistake while going full speed rather than playing hesitantly. He did note some real, tangible positives to build on from that opener too, specifically pointing to the defense generating real turnovers and the offense finishing that game out in victory formation. Both small, meaningful signs worth building on as this preseason continues. There is something genuinely refreshing about hearing a veteran player speak this openly about real struggle, real faith, and real growth, especially heading into a season with so much anticipation already surrounding this football team. Terry McLaurin sounds like a man who has found real clarity on the other side of a genuinely difficult stretch, and that piece clearly shows up in how he is currently approaching both this game and this new chapter of his career. Let me know down in the comments what stood out to you most from Terry's reflections, and drop your excitement level for this receiver room heading into the regular season. Commanders family, we appreciate you tuning in. Big things coming this year. Raise hail.